real American hero. G.I. Joe is there. It's G.I. Joe against Cobra the enemy.
Hey, welcome to Half the Battle. Okay, I'm doing this. Another year of G.I. Joe figures ranked. 1984 this time.
There's 20 of them this time, and that's quite a lot to get through, so let's dig right in. As always, we'll be going alphabetically. That means that first up is Blowtorch, and we're starting with a winner as he goes straight into the best tier. This is thanks to his unique and flashy design, plus his great accessories. Next is Stan Clutch, and while the first version went into the good tier, this one sits in the okay but bland one. That's because it's a simple repaint, so we've seen it before, and the new color scheme doesn't add much. Cutter is good, plain and simple. He looks the part, and the figure has way more personality than the first naval guy, Torpedo.
Speaking of naval guys,
Deep 6. Deep 6 is difficult for me. I was flip-flopping between like 3 different tiers here. Worst, bad, and good if you can believe that. He's certainly unique, but the almost total lack of articulation really hurts him. Now, your mileage may vary, but articulation is one of the most important things for me when it comes to action figures. And that's why I'm calling this a bad toy. The only thing that saves it from being the first ever to go into the worst column is the unique design and the real diving gimmick that's tons of fun for kids.
speaking of kids, what child doesn't love a good doggo?
That's why Mutt and Junkyard go into the good tier, answering the question, who's a good boy? Yeah, the fact the figure comes with a dog is a plus, and it's a good design anyway. The muzzle for Mutt, not Junkyard, is just the icing on the cake. Now we're heading into the jungle with Recondo, and it's another one for the good tier. 1984 really hits it out of the park with unique designs, and Recondo is no exception. A great figure that embodies the concept of a jungle trooper. Ripcord is another figure where I was going back and forth or where to put him. Good or okay but bland, which to pick? The figure itself is pretty bland, but it's saved by the accessories that make him stand out as a parachute guy, so I'm putting him in the good tier.
But just barely.
Roadblock. Roadblock is good. I mean, it's freaking Roadblock. Do I really need to say anything else?
No, I do not, especially since we've got so many freaking figures to get through.
The penultimate Joe is Spirit, and another difficult one. He's got a unique look, but the figure looks like such a stereotype. He does, however, come with Freedom the Eagle, also a good boy, so that lifts him up into the good category. Last but not least is Thunder. He's got a nice and different uniform, and the helmet adds a lot. So the final Joe goes into the good tier too. And those are all the Joes from 1984 ranked.
But, once again, what about the bad guys?
Well, I'm happy to say there's enough of them this time to warrant their own tier list. I could do a separate episode on them, but I'm not gonna make you wait for that.
No, my friends, we're doing that right now.
And we're starting with the Baroness. The Baroness is best girl. That outfit! The first decent head sculpt for a female figure. What's not to love? A well-deserved placement in the best tier. Next is Cobra Commander.
Look, everybody calls the figure Hooded Cobra Commander, but that's not the official name.
So alphabetically, he's technically in the correct place. And he joins the Baroness in the best tier. He looks great and was my first ever mail-away figure. Plus, I like the darker blue better than the baby blue of the first version. Copperhead has a unique look and is quite muscular compared to other figures from 84. He looks badass and mean, so he goes into the good tier. And he's joined there by Firefly. He does look a little too much like a generic terrorist. That keeps him out of the best tier.
But it's close.
Especially since he has some great accessories. You know what? Let's make it a trio of named Cobra characters in the good tier with Scrap Iron. He looks very distinct and comes with a freaking rocket launcher, so he deserves the spot. The Stinger driver gets the same spot as the Cobra officer, since it's the same mold and the radically different color means it's not a bland reuse of the mold.
Now we're coming to it, probably the one you've been waiting for.
Storm Shadow. Yeah, he goes into the best tier, obviously. The first ninja. No, Snake Eyes doesn't count, he wasn't a ninja yet, with a great set of accessories and an awesome look. Wild Weasel is interesting. Personally, I think the helmet is a little goofy, but that won't stop me from putting him in the good category. Also because his name in the Dutch G.I. Joe toy line was Fokker.
And finally, the actual last but certainly not least figure,
Zartan! A very unique look, great accessories, and the innovative color-changing gimmick. Yeah, no question, he goes into the best tier. In fact, he gets the #1 spot for this year, both for Cobra and the year in general. And that really is it. All 1984 G.I. Joe figures ranked. All 20 of them.
now go berate me in the comments below and give me your own rankings. Well, I'll see you next time, everybody, and hey, why not like, share, and subscribe if that's your thing.
G.I. Joe, American hero. G.I. Joe is there. It's G.I. Joe against Cobra the enemy.
Wow, 20 figures. That was a lot to get through.
I wonder how many 1985 figures there are. 28?
Oh, fuck!